The crimson glow of the setting sun bathed the small town of Hollow Creek in an eerie light, casting long shadows over the deserted streets. Valentine's Day was supposed to be a day of love and joy, but for me, it turned into a nightmare that I could never forget. My name is Emily, and I was a hopeless romantic. The air was filled with an unusual chill as I strolled down the empty streets, my breath forming misty clouds in front of me. Hollow Creek was known for its charm, but tonight, the quaint town seemed abandoned, as if the very essence of love had been drained from its soul. My boyfriend Daniel and I had planned a romantic dinner at the long-forgotten Rosewood Manor, a majestic mansion hidden deep within the outskirts of the town. Legends whispered that it held a tragic love story, a tale of heartbreak and sorrow that echoed through the ages. Little did I know that this Valentine's Day would become a chapter in that cursed legend. As I approached the entrance of Rosewood Manor, the grand doors creaked open, seemingly of their own accord. A cold gust of wind swept through the foyer, extinguishing the flickering candles that lined the entrance. Goosebumps crawled up my arms as I hesitated, debating whether to turn back or step into the darkness that awaited. The interior of the mansion was hauntingly beautiful, with dusty chandeliers hanging from the ceiling and portraits of somber-faced individuals lining the walls. The air was thick with an indescribable tension, as if the very walls were whispering secrets from a bygone era. I shivered, but Daniel's reassuring smile encouraged me to continue. We explored room after room, each filled with relics of a forgotten time. As we ascended a grand staircase, the echoes of our footsteps mingled with distant whispers, like the ghosts of a forgotten love story trying to communicate with the living. I felt a chill down my spine, but love can make you brave, or perhaps foolish. The door to the master bedroom stood ajar, and a soft glow emanated from within. As we entered, a sight unfolded that sent shivers down my spine. The room was frozen in time, as if the lovers who once inhabited it had left in a hurry, leaving behind an eternal moment of passion and despair. A grand four-poster bed dominated the room, draped in dusty silk sheets. A flickering candle cast dancing shadows across the faded wallpaper adorned with roses. In the center of the room stood a cracked and weathered mirror, reflecting a distorted image of us standing at the threshold of something beyond our understanding. As we approached the mirror, the room seemed to grow colder. I stared into my reflection, but it was not just my own eyes that stared back. The figures of a man and a woman, cloaked in antique attire, stood beside us in the mirror. My heart raced as I realized that we were not alone. A voice, soft and melancholic, echoed through the room. Love has bound us to this realm, a tale of sorrow that time cannot erase. Beware, for the curse of Rosewood Manor claims those who dare to intrude. I turned to Daniel, panic in my eyes. The air thickened, and the room seemed to pulsate with an otherworldly energy. The ghostly figures in the mirror reached out, their hands touching ours. In an instant, the temperature plummeted, and an agonizing pain shot through my chest. As I gasped for breath, I saw the ghostly lovers merging with us, intertwining their destinies with ours. Their tragic love story became our burden, and the weight of centuries of heartache bore down on our souls. The room dissolved into darkness, and I felt myself being pulled into a void. When I opened my eyes, I was no longer in the grandeur of Rosewood Manor. Instead, I found myself in a desolate landscape, a realm suspended between the living and the dead. The ghostly couple stood beside us, their eyes filled with a mixture of longing and despair. "We are bound by the curse," the woman whispered, her voice echoing through the emptiness. "Only true love can break the chains that bind us. Find it before the last petal of the black rose falls." The black rose materialized in her hand, its petals withered and fragile. It crumbled slowly, and with each falling petal, the ghostly lovers faded. Panic set in as we realized the urgency of our quest. We were trapped in a cursed realm, and only the power of true love could save us. Our journey through the desolate landscape was a relentless pursuit of the elusive cure. Time seemed distorted, and the boundaries between reality and the supernatural blurred. We faced trials that tested the strength of our love, and moments where the very fabric of our relationship unraveled. As we ventured deeper into the unknown, the ghostly couple guided us through the echoes of their tragic love story. We witnessed their joy, their heartbreak, and the moment that condemned them to an eternity of suffering. The weight of their emotions pressed upon us, threatening to tear us apart. In the darkest corners of the cursed realm, we encountered malevolent spirits that sought to devour the love that bound us. They whispered doubts, sowed discord, and tested the very foundation of our relationship. Yet, with each trial, our love grew stronger, fueled by the desperation to break the curse. Days turned into nights, and the black rose continued its relentless descent. The ghostly couple, now mere shadows, urged us forward. Our journey reached its climax in a desolate garden, where the final petal clung to the dying stem. The air crackled with an otherworldly energy as we stood before a colossal black rose, its thorns like daggers in the void. A voice, ancient and mournful, echoed through the garden. True love is the key to breaking the curse, but it requires sacrifice. One of you must choose to stay behind, bound to this realm, while the other returns to the world of the living. Tears welled in our eyes as the weight of the decision pressed upon us. The choice between eternal separation and the chance to escape the cursed realm tore at our hearts. Love, it seemed, demanded the ultimate sacrifice. In that moment, Daniel and I exchanged a silent understanding. With a heavy heart, I stepped forward, choosing to stay behind. Daniel's eyes filled with tears as he embraced me one last time. The garden shimmered, and the ghostly couple materialized, their once sorrowful expressions now tinged with gratitude. As the last petal fell, the world around me dissolved into darkness. I felt a profound sense of peace, knowing that our love had triumphed over the curse. In the void, I could sense Daniel's presence, his love an eternal tether that connected us across the realms. Valentine's Day had transformed from a celebration of love into a tale of heartache and sacrifice. Rosewood Manor and its cursed legacy had claimed another chapter, and as the sun dipped below the horizon in the real world, a sense of quiet melancholy settled over Hollow Creek. For those who dared to venture into the abandoned mansion, they would find no trace of the ghostly couple or the cursed realm. Only the echoes of a tragic love story lingered in the air, a cautionary tale of the lengths one would go for love.